The Local Women Travel Podcast is sponsored by That Prize Guy. Win big prizes daily at thatprizeguy.co.uk.
Welcome to the Local Woman Travel Podcast. We're here at the beautiful Shandon Hotel with the most spectacular, breathtaking views of Donegal. Carolyn, you've been here for a long time now at the Shandon, so what improvements have you made since you've come?
Yeah, so we opened in Easter time 2016 and it was just a dilapidated building and from the previous ownership, and we've invested upwards of 6-7 million into the property. When we first started, it was just a blanket kind of refurb, and then as the business grew and we started to make money, we done some really good sound investments then and expansions, and we built an extra 18 bedrooms in 2017-2018. And we extended the spa, and we've added more outdoor water facilities, and we also extended the main bar, Beats Bar, and refurbished that, and redone the lobby and redone the function room again, the McCarthy Suite. So it's been an ongoing project to bring it to the luxury product it is today.
And without a doubt, it's the best hotel in Donegal.
Thank you.
I can safely say that. The view at Sheephaven Bay here is just stunning in all weather.
Yes.
And then you're very closely located. Obviously, Dunfanaghy is up the road. You've got a view of Downings.
Yes.
The beautiful Heather Horn Head where we were yesterday, the distillery.
Yeah.
There's so much to do in the area.
Yeah. We're very blessed, I suppose. We always wanted to create a product where, if it is wintertime, because that would always be the struggle here, that there's enough to do here. So we do have the luxury award-winning spa where you've got the massage jets, the heated loungers, the indoor-outdoor water facilities and the treatments. But in addition to that too, for families, we have a separate leisure centre within the hotel, which we actually done as well there 2 years ago. So that was a huge investment. And we also opened a 24-hour gym. So if it is bad weather, you could wrap up and do a lovely walk on Marble Hill Beach, or you can enjoy the leisure centre or the spa. Or if it's the summertime, I mean, there's so many beautiful water activities you can do locally, like surfing and paddle boarding and kayaking and that too.
Do you do any of these things?
I try. I'm not very good at any of it. But
well, we were talking about dogs, and the walks here are exceptional.
Yeah, there's beautiful, and Ard's Forest Walk is absolutely stunning, even in a bad day, because it's quite sheltered as well.
And what would you say that when the guests come and they leave and they don't want to leave perhaps, what is it that brings them back?
I think it's our team, the friendliness of our team, and they genuinely love to work here and they love what they do, and they end up sparking up relationships with a lot of our team. We had a guest there just recently, and he's been coming here for 10 years, 3 or 4 times a year. He comes from the UK and he brings his family and his friends, and it's just lovely to build those relationships. And I think the key is the team, and
it feels like a family. Yeah, absolutely. And the food's exceptional.
Thank
so
you.
we got spoilt last night.
Lovely.
What's your signature dish?
Well, we have, my favourite would be Marbles Restaurant, so the next time you come, hopefully we can have you dine in there. It's lovely casual fine dining, so you start off with an amuse-bouche, and then you've got your starter and your sorbet course and your main dessert and your tea, coffee and your truffles. So it's a real dining experience up the stairs. But in terms of Beats Bar, I love the gourmet platters or the seafood platter, so they would be my 2 favourites.
Yeah, the chowder and the fish and chips.
Yeah, lovely.
Well, thank you so much for having us here and spoiling us, and I can't wait to come back.
Lovely.
Thank you so much,
Joanne.
Carolyn.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Evelyn, thank you so much for having us down here at the spa. It looks so beautiful. I've just had a walk through, and I'm really excited to come back with my bathrobe and dive into the ice bath. Tell us everything that you can kind of provide your guests here at the Shandon Hotel.
Here at the Shandon, we offer loads of packages, including spa and thermal suite, We do thermal suite and afternoon tea. And we also, on another level, have our thermal suite and our private hot tubs, which you can have with a cocktail or a Prosecco, which sell really, really well. And all our treatments we have is Elmas, which you can have a complimentary spa, Talgo, which you can have a complimentary spa, and we also have our own Shandon Organics body treatments, which you also have your treatment, you have your complimentary thermal spa. Our thermal spa has foot spas, heated lounges, a beautiful thermal suite with jet sphere upper back, lower back, an outdoor Canadian tub, and also a wet plunge pool. We have a sauna and aroma oil room. We also won awards in Ireland, Highland Radio, and we have an amazing team of spa therapists who are so well trained and who love coming into work, because why not? We have such a beautiful view of the sea and hills, and it's just so relaxing.
I don't really get a lot of time to go to spas, but if I was choosing a spa, I would choose one with a view, obviously. And we're looking out into Sheephaven Bay. Sunset, sunrise, I mean, any time of the day it's going to be gorgeous. And what really sets you apart from other spas?
Herb treatments, we created our own products called Shandon Organics, and around them we also created our own spa signature treatments, which were people used to ask for. We'd like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We listen to all our customers, we take on all their feedback, and we work together, which a result we did create our Shandon Organic products, which are selling amazingly, and that it's lovely to see our customers coming back looking for refills, and a lot of them are actually therapists as well, which are actually using our product on their own salon. So I do think people love the water, they love the hot tubs, and they love our plunge pool and the whole spa, and I think the treatments and the part of the Shandon you can take home with you as a reminder to come back to us.
Is there one treatment you'd recommend?
I do love the spa signature treatment, which is a spa exfoliation created by ourselves, and we do then a hot stone body treatment, and it's such amazing with a beautiful scalp massage, and of course we're using our Shandon Organics.
Very good. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. And I'm going to come back later and hopefully enjoy a treatment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine is the manager here at Crolly Distillery. So I'm standing in the most beautiful building. I mean, the old stone brick wall, and it dates back to 1901.
1901, yeah. So it's all hand-built granite from the local area, and it has a lot of history steeped in it here. So Crolly, as you can see, is spelled Crolly, but our whiskey brand is also Crolly, but it's in the Gaelic language because we live in the Gaeltacht here in Donegal. So people find it a wee bit strange to try and pronounce it. So we try to tell them it's exactly the same in English and in Irish, it's just spelt differently. So in 1901 it was actually a Donegal carpet factory, very famous carpets. And they're still to be found to this day in Buckingham Palace, the White House, Eris Nuchtran, and they were the main carpets on board the Titanic as well, which we can't actually prove that, but it is true. So there used to be a train station just over the road here, and they stopped running the train to the location. So what happened was then we couldn't get the actual carpets, well it wasn't me, but they couldn't get the actual carpets to the area or the materials to make them, so they stopped making the carpets and they started making dolls. Oh. So you can see here.
And so it's Miss Crolly, the dog,
yeah.
The doll. Oh my goodness.
So they started making those in 1940.
You can tell by the hairstyle.
Yeah, so you know that they're very unusual. And they were actually one of the first walking, talking kind of dolls that came out back in the day. So you can see some of them are quite pretty and some not so pretty. You'll see ones over there and you'll meet a few along the way on the tour as well. So they stopped making them in 1979 when Barbie and Ken came out. Yeah. So
Barbie and Ken, went ahead of Miss Crolly then. There was no more Miss Crolly. Oh.
Yeah, so if you ever see the start of the Barbie movie, you'll actually see the Crolly dolls in the very beginning of the Barbie movie, where there's like black and white, and then Barbie comes along and she breaks up all the Crolly dolls, and then it goes really bright pink for the rest of the movie.
I actually remember that in the movie, yeah. And so how did it then become a whiskey factory or distillery?
Distillery. So there's 2 men in Letterkenny, well 3 men in Letterkenny, and they just used to do whiskey tastings in their houses. They lived next to each other, and they decided to open up a whiskey distillery. So they were looking for a good location with good natural water source. So they found this. It was boarded up for 30 odd years, and they recreated. There wasn't much, as you can see, it's been fully restored as much as possible and kept. So it's a beautiful, stunning building. So we're so lucky to be here because we have the history and the story as well as we make whiskey here as well.
Great, and we're going to go and taste some whiskey now.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Come with me.
Yeah.
So poaching is produced here. It takes us about 6 days to make, and poaching has been here since the Dark Ages. I believe it's the monks that started to distill poaching.
And what's the relation with the whiskey?
So this is the original Ishkibaha, the water of life. And it was always colourless, clear like this, and it was later on that the whiskey we know today adapted to what it is through being stored in wood.
This might be the first for me because I don't really drink. So
Have you never tried poaching before?
I've never tried poaching, and I don't drink alcohol.
Okay, right.
Is that a good combination?
Place to start with the poaching.
Be truthful. Your face is
Okay, I can speak. Wow. I had no idea, first of all, that the alcohol was clear and it gets its colour from the wood. I mean,
Yeah.
that's truly remarkable. And there's different tones here, so
Yeah.
obviously this is different types of wood. Talk us through the different woods.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
so this
tones.
display here, this explains what happens when poaching, what you just drank at 70%, when that goes into a wooden cask, what happens. So if you could just see through the wooden cask, this is visually what happens. So after 3 years, this is 3 years, that is now Irish whiskey. Has to age for minimum 3 years before we call it Irish whiskey. And then you can see what happens during maturation. So whiskey only matures in the wood. Once it's bottled, it stops aging and maturing. So, what do you see from this display?
Well, the alcohol level is also reducing, and the colour is getting darker.
Yeah.
So the darker the whiskey, probably the less that there is, and perhaps the more expensive it becomes.
It just depends on what type of cask it was aged in. Yeah, so not if it's just aged in a single wood, maybe a oak cask, a virgin cask, then the colour will be still very light, even though it could be quite old. But the sherry casks give you the darker colours, and the cognac would be lighter, white wine lighter. So you can see here how we lose 2% every year, and that's the evaporation from the cask.
Okay, so the end one, how old would that be?
So we're talking about 25 years at that, roughly. So you've lost all this in evaporation from the cask. Yeah, and that evaporation, the 2%, we call that the angel's share.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
because
I
it's
like
lost to the atmosphere.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness,
and the
incredible.
angels have to get their little share.
that. Great. Oh, that's lovely. The angel share.
Yeah.
Tony, this building has a lot of history. So carpets, dolls, whiskey, but
Yeah.
there's something else.
Well, as I say, whiskey is our spirit that's here, but we had another spirit that still goes around the place here. So from 1916 to 1922, this was an RIC barracks, and it was British soldiers here during the War of Independence. So near the end of when we got our independence, all the soldiers went out on the beer, and we think it was Paddy Oggs over the road here, and they came back though after curfew. This was still an active barracks though, so the sentry was on duty. So they were all climbing in windows and doors and different things. So one of the soldiers, Charles Harrison, climbed in what is now the ladies' toilets window, and the guard was on duty, told him to halt and asked him for the password. He didn't know it, so he shot him. So then he went upstairs to where the process room is now, which was the bunkhouse then, and he bled to death there because the British doctor here was too drunk to look after him, and no Irish doctor would come into the area because of they would be in trouble, like, you know. So, as I say, that's our other spirit that goes around, and he's buried in Bunbeg graveyard here in Gweedore. And he was 21 at the time.
That's actually very sad.
Yeah.
So where will I find him? In the ladies' toilets?
In the ladies' toilets, yeah. Just be careful now.
Okay, I don't need to go all of a sudden. I'm not going to go to the toilet. That's an incredible story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how long was it a barracks for?
For 6 years, 1916 to 1922. Like, so once we got our independence, then, because it was a railway, went from Crolly, from Burtonport to Letterkenny. So this must have been a kind of a customs checkpoint.
Do people say that they feel a spirit?
Yeah, I had a fella came in here one time from Letterkenny, and he walked in and he started looking at me strange, like, you know, and he says, did something ever happen here? And I started laughing at him, thinking he was pulling my leg, but no, he was genuine. He says, I get a sense of something here, like, you know. And they do say from staff that were here from the carpet factory, or from the Crolly doll factory, that they got people coming up talking to them, and they turned around, they weren't there. So,
incredible. I mean, I'm quite sort of excited by that in a weird way. So, yeah. What about you? Have you never felt this spirit?
Sometimes at night here when I'm doing the tills, I want to get out quick. I get real.
Yeah, because he's probably not a very happy guy if he was shot.
When you're on your own here, like, you know. Yeah, no, definitely heard a few rumblings, as I say, like, you know. So I went out the front door pretty quick that night.
That's a good story.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sort of feels like I'm going back in time in many ways. I used to come here with my mom and we would walk across the heather. So in good days, I mean, the sunsets and the sunrise must be really spectacular here. I could imagine the sky completely red, and I believe as well you can see whales, minke whales. You can see the blowholes, sometimes dolphins as well. And is there a corn crake? You can hear the corn crake up here. Well, it's a bit of a treat to get a live performance from
Nuala Maria, Luna, Rona.
And girls, what are you going to play?
We're going to play a reel that we all learned last year and we really enjoyed playing it.
Fantastic, let's go. And we might even see it in Belfast then at the Flag.
Hopefully.
Yay! Thank you so much, girls.
The Local Women Travel Podcast is sponsored by That Prize Guy. Win big prizes daily at thatprizeguy.co.uk.